the world woke up to a headline that seemed impossible even by celebrity royal standards. Meghan, Markle, Ditches, the royals, for a title. Not a duchess title. Not a royal title. Something even more unlikely. And as the story unfolded, it became clear. Only Meghan could pull off a twist like this. Chapter 1. A letter that changed everything. It began on a quiet Tuesday morning in Montecito, where sunlight filtered through the expansive windows of Harry and Meghan's California home. Meghan was sipping her ginger-infused tea, reviewing emails on her tablet. Most were routine: charity updates, production meetings, requests for appearances. But one subject line stopped her. A proposition for Ms. Meghan Markle, title to be bestowed. She raised an eyebrow. It wasn't from the UK government, nor the royal household. The sender was obscure, but curiosity won. Inside was a formal letter, written with almost comical flair. Dear Ms. Markle, you have been selected as a candidate for the ceremonial and historic title of Grand Patroness of the International Council of Cultural Renaissance. Meghan read the words again. Grand Patroness. Harry strolled by, crunching almonds. Everything okay? You ever heard of the International Council of Cultural Renaissance? She asked. Harry frowned. No, but it sounds like something your publicist made up. Meghan was already scrolling. Apparently, it's an alliance of global philanthropists, historians, and cultural guardians. The title hasn't been given in over a century. Harry chuckled. Is this about the Renaissance or people pretending they're in the Renaissance? She nudged him, but something in her eyes said she wasn't brushing this off. Chapter 2. The global buzz begins. Word travels fast, especially online. Within 48 hours, the leak hit the internet. Meghan Markle, offered ancient title from secret global council. Royal watchers went wild. Some theorized it was Meghan's way of one-upping the royals. Others speculated it was her next branding move. A few insisted it was a sinister Illuminati plot. Meanwhile, Meghan's team was calling nonstop. Her agent, it's not a scam, these people are real. Her publicist, this is the biggest PR moment of your year. Her mother, Doria, baby, do what makes you feel powerful. Meghan laughed at that. Titles were never her goal, or so she told herself. That was, after all, the whole reason she and Harry stepped away from the firm. But standing in the quiet of her office, she realized something. She didn't miss the British crown. She missed using her influence with purpose. Maybe this title, odd as it sounded, could be a new channel. Still, she knew that if she accepted it, the British tabloids would explode. And sure enough, back in London, palace aides were already scrambling. Chapter 3. The Palace Reacts. Inside Buckingham Palace, King Charles raised a tired eyebrow as he scanned the morning briefings. Another title, he muttered. I thought she was quite done with titles. Camilla, reading beside him, smirked. She's American, darling. They love reinventing themselves. William wasn't amused. She knows what she's doing. Headlines like this overshadow our trip to Dublin. Kate, ever diplomatic, said gently, maybe it's not about us. But William shook his head. Everything is about us when the newspapers decide it is. Royal commentators popped up on every network, analyzing whether Meghan was rebuilding an empire of her own. A few defended her, arguing she had every right to shape her identity. Others accused her of title shopping. But Meghan ignored the noise. She had already made her choice. Chapter 4. Meghan Speaks. She announced her acceptance of the title through a highly produced video filmed in her garden. Lush greenery, soft lighting, and her signature calm tone. I'm honored, she began, to accept the title of Grand Patroness of the International Council of Cultural Renaissance. This isn't about royalty, it's about rebuilding culture, uplifting marginalized communities, and crafting a more compassionate world. Social media burst like a shaken soda can. Team Meghan, yes queen, create your own monarchy. Royalists, this is a stunt. Hollywood, what exactly is this council and can we get invited? Journalists requested interviews. Opportunists tried to trademark the term Grand Patroness. Someone even started selling unofficial hoodies. But Meghan didn't care about merch. She cared about what came next. Chapter 5. A New Court, a New Mission. When Meghan arrived at the Council's summit in Geneva, she was greeted by scholars, activists, diplomats, and artists. These were thinkers, creators, people who believed in cultural transformation. A silver medallion was placed around her neck, symbolizing her new title. She wasn't bowing to royalty anymore. She was stepping into a role she believed had meaning. One historian whispered to another, "She's the first non-European ever to hold this title." Another added, "The Council sees her as a bridge between continents." Her first mission, championing global literacy and protecting endangered cultural archives. She was no figurehead, she was expected to lead. And she did. For the first time in years, Meghan felt unburdened. No palace protocols, no tabloids waiting outside a gate, no competing roles within a centuries-old hierarchy. Just purpose. Chapter 6. But the world spins fast. Still, drama followed her. British commentators accused her of abandoning the royal family again, this time for a shinier title. American analysts said she was building a cultural dynasty. Some fans romanticized it as Meghan chooses legacy over monarchy. Harry remained supportive, though slightly amused. "You've traded royal duties for Renaissance duties," he teased. She swatted his arm. "At least these people don't expect me to curtsy." "Yet," he joked. But deep down, Harry admired her conviction. She wasn't replacing her past, she was rewriting her future. Chapter 7. The Turning Point. Months later, Meghan stood on stage at the World Cultural Preservation Forum. Behind her was a projection of crumbling libraries, fading murals, and lost traditions. "This title," she said, "does not define me, but it gives me a platform to help protect the stories of humanity." Her voice was steady, powerful, and genuine. In that moment, people finally understood. This wasn't about a headline. This wasn't about rivalry with the royals. This wasn't about reclaiming fame. It was about impact. The world realized she didn't ditch the royal family for a title. She left so she could eventually choose one that aligned with her values, not with tradition. Epilogue, the title that wasn't about a title. Months turned into a year. Meghan's initiatives expanded across continents. She built cultural education programs, restored archives destroyed by conflict, and partnered with global leaders. Ironically, her influence grew far beyond what she ever could have achieved inside the royal family. And every so often, tabloids still tried stirring drama. Meghan, Markle, Rebrands herself with grand title. Is she, Cratng, a new royal court? William and Kate silent on, Meghan's global power move. But Meghan didn't answer back. She didn't need to. Because for once, the title wasn't the story. The work was. And Meghan, actress, advocate, mother, and now global patroness, knew she had made the right choice.